staff who helped get our fields ready to play on, and I'd like to thank Lisa Menard for typing tonight's program and certificates. Tonight we will recognize the student athletes who participated in JV and varsity soccer and varsity cross country. Congratulations to 3 of the teams sitting in the auditorium right now. Girls JV soccer, girls varsity soccer, and boys varsity soccer. They were all CVAC champions this season. All qualified to run in the cross-country state championship. So congratulations to all of them. All of our teams were highly successful this fall, including the modified teams, so we have much to be proud of. In addition to athletic talents, 78 athletes earned high honors in academics while participating this fall. This is listed as the NCCS Academic Recognition Program, and they are people that earn a 90 or above average. Congratulations to our seniors. Hopefully you'll take some fond memories of your soccer and cross-country experiences with you, and good luck in college next year. When I call the individual teams up front, please hold your applause until each team member has been introduced. It would be greatly appreciated if everyone would show respect by listening to the coaches as they speak about their teams and remain in the auditorium for the full session. Mr. Hogan is down front right over here, and he has asked that you take a look at him when you receive your award so he can take a picture for you. Could we have the girls JV soccer team down front, please?
I'm done. You're done.
Once again, I'll please ask if you're quiet so you can hear. Margarita Acero, Melinda Bayshard, Jackie Fales, Brianna Fozier, Ashley Goyette, Ashley Lamberton. Don't forget to look at Mr. Hogan, girls. Jenny Lepore. Aisha Loya. Caitlin Molden. Melissa Rabidou. Katie Lynn Tierney. Rachel Barco. Carrie Dominic. Allie Eversall. Katrina Guerin. Anna Sarbo. Jessica Ashline. Bianca Grimshaw, Courtney Rabidou, Paige Southwick, Mallory Honan, Molly Roush, Manager Tiffany Rabidou. Please welcome the girls' JV soccer team and Coach Dick Zucker.
Good evening. I'm privileged to stand in front of you tonight to celebrate with all these amazing athletes on their successful season. As a coach and a fan, it has been another wonderful year to be part of the Northeastern family. All of you should be proud of your sons and daughters for the hard work and dedication that it takes to build championship teams year after year. As I was writing this last night, the memories of an amazing season kept popping in my head. Melinda Bayshard's goal against PHS, Katrina Guerin and Bree Fozier goals with just seconds left on the clock. Courtney Rabideau and Paige Southwick for not showing a lot of emotion, but playing with all their heart. Molly Roush and Mallory Honan for their 2 beautiful goals. Margarita Sarah and Jessica Ashline fighting with me to let them play when they were hurt. Yelling at Ashley Lamberton and Ashley Goyette for any reason I could think of. Alyssa Rabideau, Caitlin Tierney, and Anna Sarbo for always giving 110%. Jenny LaFour and Jackie Fales for keeping things interesting. Caitlin Bolden for her smile after she scores. Bianca Grimshaw for her get out of my way style. Rachel Barcombe for her toughness in her goal against Seton. Carrie Dominic and Ali Eversole for always knowing what needed to be done and just doing it. And Aisha Loya for her cat-like reflexes in goal. These ladies have been able to accomplish amazing things this year. At the start of the year, we talked about goals for the season. As usual, the goals were to win the NCCS Booster Club Tournament, the JV CBAC title, score more goals for, and allow fewer goals against than last year. To be honest with you, I didn't know if we would be able to accomplish them. Let's start with the preseason tournament. We're able to beat NAC and Shazy to win the tournament. However, this made me nervous. Why, you might ask? Well, we beat these teams relatively easy, and our first 3 regular season games were against Saranac, PHS, and Beekmantown. After winning 3 very tough games, it gave us the confidence we needed to make a historical run at 18-0. We had our tests along the way. We were down 1-0 3 times in the second half to Saranac, PHS, and Saranac Lake, and were able to come back to win all 3 games 3-1. Another amazing game was against Seton. It looked like it was going into overtime when Rachel Barcombe scored with just 28 seconds left in regulation. Every game, the girls were focused and played with a lot of heart. That leaves me with the last 2 preseason goals, goals for and against. We were able to score 60 goals this year versus 58 last year. And we tied last year's record by only allowing 9 goals against. To sum it all up, what these girls were able to accomplish is amazing. I'm so proud of each and every one of them for working together, playing hard, and making the season enjoyable. For my most improved players, this year I have 2. I can combine the 2 because they both play the same way, hard. They just go after the ball and don't stop until they get it. As the year went on, they both received more playing time and took advantage of every second. My 2 most improved players are Bianca Grimshaw and Alyssa Rabideau. Most valuable players, always a tough award to pick. I could only narrow it down to 3. The first goes to Bree Fozier. She was a leading scorer with 12 goals and 4 assists. She has the ability to trap well and get a hard shot off. I'm looking forward to seeing her next year at the varsity level. I told my second MVP, good things will come. She never really understood what I meant. She's a great young lady with an amazing talent between the posts. She is extremely quick and she trusts her instincts. My second MVP is Aisha Loya. To no surprise, my last MVP is Katrina Guerin. She has the ability to shut down the opponent's best scorer and the ability to score when we need it the most. She is a remarkable young lady that has a bright future in any sport she plays. If she keeps working hard and stays focused, she will not only be MVP of her own team, but MVP of the league. It will be a pleasure to watch her next year. Before I get to my thank yous, I would like to wish all the 10th graders the best of luck next year. I would also like to acknowledge Margarita Acero. She is the only player on this year's team that has been with me for 3 years. She was having a great season when she injured her knee. Even though she could no longer contribute on the field, she remained dedicated and supportive of her teammates. She is a true team member. I would like to thank my manager, Tiffany Rabideau. I would like to thank my wife for dealing with me throughout the season. Mrs. Gilroy and all the other coaches for their assistance and support. The Booster Club for sponsoring the tournament and supporting our athletes any way they can. Thank you to Calvin Castine and John Hogan for the videotaping our games and taking pictures of the girls. The parents for supporting their daughters and taking care of mine. A special thanks to my captains, Ashley Goyette, Aisha Loyal, Margarita Acero, and Katrina Guerin for doing a great job handling all of the little problems throughout the season. And finally, to all the young ladies in front of you for giving me a season I'll never forget. Thank you. Before they start, I didn't know Tiffany walked up here, so I do have a gift for her. Thank you very much.
Hello parents, athletes, and coaches. First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming. We would also like to thank Ms. Gilroy for keeping us all organized, Calvin Castine for home count table, and for taping our home games, and Mr. Hobo for taking game pictures. It was all greatly appreciated.
We started the season with a lot of new and young players. Some of us had doubts, but we pulled together and went undefeated. This couldn't be possible without such an amazing coach. Mr. Suganal was determined. He knew when to take it easy and when to push us to the limit. There's been times that the team has been pretty upset with Coach. Times like he'll sprint backwards, or like when we heard the words, "Okay girls, go for your extra long run." Even still, the team and myself included have tons of respect for Coach.
We had a lot of fun times this season, like when Allie gave Rachel a black eye while we were wrestling on the trampoline, and when Bianca tripped over the ball and the ref started laughing. But the best one is when we went on a long run instead of our normal warm-up run, just to get Coach in a good mood. But when we got back, he made us do it again. And thank you ladies for a great season.
Will the girls varsity soccer team please come down?
It's because I'm just like Bianca. And I've never been next to you.
Megan Bayshard. Danny Boris. Rachel Everlin. Sarah Katie Hardigan. Amanda Robin. Nicole Smith. Danielle Tierney. Jen Bayshard. Johnny Ray Correa. Kim Dragoon. Nicole Fillion. Amanda Boring. Colleen Honan. Chantel LaValle. Aaron Macy. Brooke Supranam. Mary Elizabeth Frankie. Taylor Kelsey. Manager Cheyenne. Aisha Loyal. Katrina Guerin. And manager Cheyenne Mayette.
Special recognition goes to 18 members of the girls varsity soccer team who qualified for the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Team Award. To receive this award, the student must be an eligible varsity competitor whose grade point average is used to determine the team composite grade point average of at least 90%, with additional students that have a GPA of 90% or greater. Each athlete earning this award will receive a pin that won't be here for a couple of weeks. I will, however, read their names and ask them to take a step forward so that we can recognize them. The girls qualifying are Megan Bayshard, Danny Boris, Rachel Everleth, Sarah Katie Hardigan, Amanda Rabideau, Nicole Smith, Danielle Tierney, Jen Bayshard, Johnny Ray Corey, Kim Dragoon, Nicole Fillion, Amanda Forey, Colleen Hogan, Chantel LaValle, Aaron Macy, Brooke Supranam, Taylor Kelsey, Mary Elizabeth Frankie. You may have noticed that all 18 players I listed. To the best of my knowledge, it's the first time at NCCS that every single player on the same team qualified for the Scholar Athlete Award, so congratulations to the girls. I would like to congratulate the boys varsity soccer team and the girls JV soccer team on their CVAC championships, and of course these young ladies right here on their CVAC championship as well. I would like to thank the parents and the other fans whose support was greatly appreciated. I would like to commend all the youth coaches who get these athletes started at a young age, and Tim and Sarah who do such a terrific job with the younger NCCS girls getting them ready to move to varsity. Thank you to Parker Chevrolet for sponsoring our tournament, Mr. Knowles Broadcasting Class, and Calvin Castine for taping some of our games for Hometown Cable, and I've given him a donation a little bit earlier. Thanks to John Hogan for taking pictures for the players. Thanks to my husband Kieran for his support of both me and my team. Joe Southwick who kept the clock at some of the home games. And to the JV girls and the varsity parents who were ball people for our games. I would also like to thank the Northeastern Booster Club for supporting all of our NCCS athletic programs, and thank you to all the parents who volunteered to work in the concession stand. We all appreciate everything you do. Cheyenne Mayette was our manager, scorekeeper, and sometimes clockkeeper as well. Not only did she help with equipment, setting up drills and shagging balls, but she filled in various positions during the practice when I needed her to. And she turned out to be a pretty good goalie. The only problem was she liked to use her hands no matter what position she was playing. I have something for you, Cheyenne. Would you come up here, please? Last year's team only had 6 seniors, but they accounted for 75% of the goals that we scored. So this year we had to rebuild and find some new scorers. Amanda Rabideau, Kim Dragoon, Jen Bayshard, Megan Bayshard, Mary Elizabeth Frankie really stepped up, accounting for 87% of the goals we scored this year. Of that 5, only Amanda and Megan are seniors. So hopefully that'll mean a reloading season next year and not a rebuilding one. We had a very tough league this year, and it seemed as though any team had a good chance of winning at any time. To come out on top was a difficult task, but one in which these players made happen, winning the CVAC championship as well as their preseason tournament. So congratulations, ladies. I'm very proud of your accomplishments. We had an exciting sectional semifinal, winning in a sudden death shootout, but unfortunately lost the championship on a fluky high bouncing ball. I asked the players this year to do some sort of community service, and it was decided that we would all participate in the Heart Walk at the old base oval. Not only were they winners on the soccer field, but they understand the importance of helping others. They took the task to heart and raised $968 for the American Heart Association. For this, I'm very proud. I couldn't have been happier that everybody participated down at the base, and they're too fast for me even walking. I was way behind. I moved 2 girls up for sectionals because of positional needs, and both saw some playing time. Katrina Guerin is a very versatile player, and she filled in admirably at several different positions in the sectional games. Aisha Loya came on as a backup goalie and practiced for a shootout, never anticipating that she'd actually have to participate in one. It was very nerve-wracking, but Aisha came up with some really great saves for us, and as I said earlier, we did win that shootout. I think that both of these girls have a great varsity career ahead of them. So thank you, ladies. Johnny Correa, Megan Bayshard, Taylor Kelsey, and Colleen Honan made up the defensive team this year. I was glad to have Megan back at full strength. She took the majority of our free kicks and corner kicks and scored several times. Johnny was famous for her slide tackles and long throw-ins and dinosaur noises. Taylor earned the starting spot through her very consistent play, and Colleen anchored this group. She struggled early on with shin splints and sprained ankle, yet she was still able to keep up with any player that tried to get by her. And if you've ever seen her play, you can appreciate that. Danielle Tierney was our last line of defense, our goalie. Danny was such a pleasant surprise to me over the last 2 years. I really wasn't sure how she'd do in the goal at the varsity level because of her size, but she did extremely well, and she had some amazing saves. She had 8 shutouts this year, 9 shutouts last year, so she's had a very good varsity career. She's a terrific, caring young lady, always willing to help with equipment without any complaints if anyone was absent, checking after practice to make sure nothing was left behind. She played hard in the games, but she always gave 100% or more effort in practice, which some people don't always do. She didn't make the All-Star team this year, but I decided to give her a coach's award. Come up here, Danny. Amanda Rabideau, Amanda Forey, Nicole Smith, Erin Macy, Nicole Filion, and Chantella Valley were our midfielders. They did a great job defensively, marking the opposing midfielders, and offensively getting the ball up to our forwards. Amanda Forey, quiet and steady. Nicole, aggressive and strong. Erin, happy and strong right-footed. Nicole, fast and known for snorting like a pig. And Chantelle, hardworking and steady. Amanda Rabideau, known as Dewey, and the only senior in the bunch, started at left mid but ended up in the center. She's a little small for that position, but she had a great season, marking players much bigger than her, and she was our leading scorer of all our midfielders. Kim Dragoon, Sarah Katie Hardigan, Brooke Supernaut, Jen Bayshard, Rachel Everleth, Mary Elizabeth Frankie, Danny Morris were our forwards. Kim, Jen, and Mary did the bulk of the scoring. Sarah Katie, Brooke, Rachel, and Danny were good role players and each scored at least 1 goal or had 1 assist this season. Danny Morris had one of the most important goals this year when she scored in the sudden death shootout that sent us to the sectional finals. I called Mary Elizabeth Pistachio because she's just plain nutty. always livening up practices. Jen struggled through a bad quad pull, but ended up being our second leading scorer. And then there was Kim. She had a great season, working her way down the right wing, forcing her way around the defense to cross or shoot. She was our leading scorer, yet she seemed to have trouble staying on her feet. She tripped on the agility poles. She tripped over the lines in the gym floor. She fell in the mud in the cross-country course. And within probably 2 minutes, she fell into a huge puddle in Shazy during our sectional semifinal. But she always came up smiling, and I could appreciate that. Most improved player, this most improved player may have punted a ball backwards and was known to whiff once in a while, but she never gave up and steadily improved her skills throughout the season. Our most improved player this year, Erin Mason. Always smiling. I chose to give out 3 MVPs. I probably could have given out a few more. First, a player that was not only a strong defensive player, but a strong offensive fullback as well, scoring 5 goals on direct free kicks and having 8 assists, usually from her corner kicks. She was an honorable mention All-Star this year. Most valuable player, Megan Mason. Next, we have the Little Spark Plug. She's stubborn and determined and always has an infectious smile. She was our leading scorer, 10 goals, 9 assists, and named to the Division I All-Star team this year. Most valuable player, Kim Dragoon. Last but not least, a player that's really made her presence known, not just on our team, but in the league as well. She's extremely fast and can make some unbelievably quick moves. She carries the ball well on offense and is a great defender too. For the second year in a row, she was named both a CDAC Division I and All-League All-Star. Our third most valuable player, Colleen Honan. This group of girls were all talkers, so it wasn't always easy to get their attention, but they enjoyed playing, and I never saw them laugh so much as when they all took the big dive into the huge puddle in the center of the field in Shazy after winning the semifinals. I would like to say good luck to all the seniors, and thanks to Megan and Dewey for being such good captains. In the inflection of that great visionary, Borat, to all of you, here's one last high five.
First off, we'd like to say our thank yous. Thank you to our absolutely amazing coach, our hilarious manager, Calvin, for taping our games, our fans, and mostly our parents. And now for the team. With snorts for laughs and nicknames made, it was hard not to have fun. We had a great season on or off the field. We came together, gained respect, and had loads of fun. It was a season we'll never forget. Thanks, girls, for such a season. You'll definitely be missed. Very nice, girls, very nice. High five.
All right, could we have the boys JV soccer team now? All right, go. Brett Bosley. Connor Chapman. Brandon Garrett. Randy Grimshaw. Fred Hapgood. Josh Harvey. Kyle Keswick. Brandon Lemire. Casey Manor. Devin Poisson. Tegan Spinner. Nick Vandermonte. Josh Brooks. Dylan Carey. Dylan Carter. Jamie Davis. Brandon Gagnon. Nick Gay. Bobby Marks. Logan Miller. Drew Carroll. Sean Harrigan. Scorekeeper Chelsea Brooks. Please welcome the boys JV soccer team and coach Frank Dewey.
Good evening. Well, great job by those two girls coaches. Great records, CBA champs, well-deserved. Kim Supranat did one heck of a job with those girls. I like that style of running them backwards up the hill. I don't know where you learned that, but I learned that from Mr. Cokes a while back, and it really works, so keep up the good work. Josie, I don't know what this high five is, I don't know all about that, but she puts on a good show, but after we get done, she's going to go down the hall, oh, my shoulder hurts. And you know what I like? She personally admitted she's getting slower when she talked about the heart lock. I love that. I really do. But yes, congratulations to those two girls teams. Nice job. Congratulations to Mr. Hawksby, another fine year. And also, congratulations to this great group of young men here. We weren't CBAC champs. Most of the time in the CBAC, if you have one loss and one tie, you're champs. But we run into a team this year from Plattsburgh High School, and looks like they're going to be a nemesis for a while, which is great for these kids. Tough year. 12 wins, one loss, one tie. Tournament, we lost in a shootout to Saranac, and outshot them 48-5 and lost. So that was some growing pains there, and it hurt, but they didn't pout. They came back the next day, worked their tails off. They set a goal. They set a goal the next time we play that team, we'll take care of it. They did just that. And we ran into Plattsburgh, a little ways down the road. They come up here, we lost 1-0. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game on a penalty shot. That hurts, that's a tough loss. But they absorbed it. So to me, those were the best lessons they could ever learn to move on. Because they've got some competition in the next 2-3 years, and it's going to take a lot of hard work. And the time they put in, I believe the boys are moving up. They're going to be ready. So in my eyes, they're champions just as good as anybody else. And they deserve a big round of applause for that. Life isn't always easy out in that soccer field. Sometimes it gets a little tough, a lot of hard work, go home a little sore, a little tired, never a complaint. This is a very mature team. Now, often there's a few things to do out there, probably unlock the booth or set some flags, or I'd have to get away for a few minutes. But I had such good leadership on that team and such a mature group of boys, I could leave for a half hour, but they still did their drills. Nobody ever thought of maybe shortening a long run or doing one less push-up. When they got in that circle, they took care of business. And they respected what they had around here. They respect their facility. They were first class. If there was garbage to pick up, they picked it up. If something was out of place, they straightened it. And to me, that's a good sign. And down the road, it's going to pay off, believe me. Also, in the last 3 years, we've lost one game at the JV level. And it was 1-0 loss on a penalty shot. One of my players, Drew Parra, who I brought up in 7th grade, has just one loss in 3 years as a JV player for me. And that young man deserves a round of applause for that because he has a lot to do with it. While I'm mentioning a few things, I went back in some of the scorebooks, and there's 6 seniors. The 2 Corys, Chris Guerin, Cody, Ethan, and Andrew. When they were sophomores with me, they went undefeated. They didn't have a league loss this year, and last year I think they had 1 league loss. For those 6 seniors, that's a pretty good thing. And I'm sure the year before they didn't have many losses either. So to have 1 league loss in 3 years of high school soccer, no matter what level it is, that's quite a feat. And for those 6 seniors, a little round of applause for them. One thing we worked hard at this year is that we worked hard at not giving up goals. We didn't have all-stars, but we had 22 guys that were ready to work and paid off. We gave up 8 goals and scored 65 and still came in 2nd place. So that means they've got to set a goal now and go after that team that took that championship away from them, and they will. Now, I have 2 most valuable players and 1 most improved. And all 3 guys they were spoke to at the beginning of the season. Had some big shoes to fill. We had some goals that we had set, and I put a little pressure on a few boys. One of them, at first, I wasn't sure if he was going to really turn it around. I pulled him aside and said, listen, I'm going to put you on defense, and I don't want the ball going in the net. And I hounded him and wore him down. And I'll tell you what, it paid off. This gentleman, I'm going to get the plaque here. Is by far the most improved player probably in the whole CBAC. His attitude was everything a coach would want. And his name is Josh Hartley. Two MVPs. Again, one was in the halfback position. At my level, I expect a lot out of my halfbacks. I expect them to run the 18 to 18 all night long and not get tired. So, I pulled this guy aside. And I hate to count the times in games where he ran from 18 to 18. Very seldom asked for a breather. But he was man enough to say when he was tired, he'd come off, get his wind back, and go back on. This guy controlled many games for us. Quiet. I think the only time he ruffled me a little bit is when he showed up with a mohawk. But we took care of that in a hurry. Most valuable player, and definitely an asset for Mr. Hawksby, Kyle Keswick. My final MVP, I spoke about him earlier. Took him on as a 7th grader, don't do that too often. This year he's like an assistant coach. Yeah, sometimes you bark a little too much, probably get under your skin. But I'd rather see that than not say a word. He'd take charge of those exercises, and the work got done. He was a team leader. He grouped those guys together before games. He always had a little inspirational, quote to say. I don't know what went on in there. I kept my nose out of it. Sometimes that's a good thing. But this guy definitely is going to be an asset to this program. And my most valuable player, Drew Perry. Okay, a few thank yous, definitely to my modified coach, Terry, doing a great job. Of course, Mr. Oxby, so supportive of the JV program. Always good words of encouragement, comes at the right time, tells the boys what he expects, what's going to happen next year, and does a great job with that varsity. My thanks go out to Josie, always on top of things, keeps me going. Booster Club, especially for that tournament, that's a big thing to these kids. They don't get too many extra games. That tournament at the beginning of the year, they look forward to that. I don't know all the parents, but thanks for chasing those soccer balls on the other side. There's nothing more discouraging than having to send an athlete to the other side of the field during a game to chase balls. So that's a big help. Please continue to do that. Talking about the Booster Club, right there, please stay supportive of that. You talk and visit with other parents from other schools. They don't have the funds that we put into our athletic program. And I tell you what, a well-dressed athlete or an athlete that looks good and feels good, it reflects on their play, believe me. You may not think that, but it's true. And again, thanks to Chelsea, my scorekeeper. She did a real good job. Even I bark at her once in a while, but she's been around me enough, she understands now. Chelsea, would you come forward? I got a little something for you. Finally, to those seniors, this is one heck of a class we're losing, I'm telling you. 11 seniors on that boys team. How many seniors you got, Joseph? Are you awake? And Grandma Gilroy has 7. So when you lose 18 athletes out of a soccer program, that hurts. But like I said, we got some young men that are coming up that are going to fill those shoes. We're not going to drop off the mat. We're not going to be a doormat, and we're still going to be a force of record. We will get our turn someday, believe me. Seniors, thank you. Thank you for everything. Please come back. Please come back. You're just a great group to be around. And finish your senior year out with pride. Make mom and dad proud. Do good things. Play some other sports. Have fun and enjoy it. As you think time goes by fast now, you wait till you get Mrs. Gilroy's age. Thank you very much.
I want to start off by saying that we had a great season. Coach worked us hard. All of us knowing that was for a good cause. Because it was for the better of the team. Sometimes we didn't like it. Sometimes we thought it was a little much, but we still did. It was all worth it though. We worked hard from just the hard practices to eating donuts and drinking orange juice. Even though we couldn't beat PHS this year, we all learned a valuable lesson by the end of the year. We all learned how to shoot a penalty shot. Coach, we thank you for everything that you've taught us over these past couple of years. Us sophomores, we'll use the skills that you taught us and use them for next year. And freshmen and Sean, our 8th grader, work hard next year and listen to your coach because he's the man. Thanks.
I'll get the wheelchair out, Frank. I know you'll need it by the end. Hold on, legs. Boys varsity soccer team, come on down front, please. Anthony Chandler. Corey Davison. Don't forget to look at Mr. Hogan, guys. Chris Guerin. Casey Guerin. Cody Gay. Cody, it's winter. Jeremy Jeanette. Ethan McCarthy. Tyler Sample. Andrew Southwick. Corey Trombley. Nate Weiss. Nick Barcombe. Dylan DiOrio. Lucas Dixon. Connor Herdick. Nathan Lamberton. Casey Letourneau. Gerald Marks. Andy Matot. Joey Ormsby. Ryan Sample. Casey Trombley. Manager Ryan Bayshard. 13 members of the boys varsity soccer team also earned the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Team Award. Please take a step forward when I call your name. Anthony Changelo, Chris Guerin, Casey Guerin, Cody Gay, Jeremy Jeanette, Ethan McCarthy, Tyler Sample, Corey Trombley, Connor Herdick, Nathan Lamberton, Gerald Marks, Andrew Matot, Casey Trombley. Congratulations.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the varsity girls and JV girls on their CVC championships. My thanks, first of all, I'd like to thank the parents for their support through this year, the Booster Club for everything they've done, Calvin and John Hogan for taping and taking pictures of our team, Jerry and Frank for the two pretty good coaches there and do a great job with their programs year after year. Thank you guys. Also thank the Pizza Hut for sponsoring our tournament now the 17th year. So they've helped raise a lot of money for this soccer program. So if you're down in Plattsburgh, go to Pizza Hut, eat some pizza. Tell me you're from Northeastern. Josie, for everything she's done. She's really works hard in that office and keeps us all organized. I'm not going to diss her as much as Frank. I want my job next year. Special thanks goes out to my wife Cheryl for everything she puts up with. Get down towards the end of the season, we got a sectional game coming up, and it was supposed to rain really bad Saturday, and so I scheduled practice on Sunday, which I don't like to do, but sectionals, I like to have 2 practices in a row before our first game. It was Tuesday, so Sunday, Monday practice. And lo and behold, Sunday was her birthday. And I had practice on her birthday, so probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I appreciate everything she's done and, for me and throughout my 17 years of coaching myself. Thank Larry Bayshard for announcing our games. He did a few of our games for us. And Ryan Bayshard, I know he's not here, but he's really appreciated for what he does, announcing the teams, and keeps an excellent book, and he gives up a lot of time. So thank Ryan, even though he's not here, I got something for him. My team consisted of 11 seniors and 11 juniors. The juniors, you know, they played a really important role in trying to get them guys, I got 11 seniors, I got to get these juniors getting there playing because we need them. They're important to the team. Get their feet wet, as they say. And they did an excellent job. Gerald, even though he's not here, he was like the father figure of that group. The stuff he says was pretty amazing sometimes, but he kept their backs and watched the juniors, and did a really good job organizing them guys down there and helping me out. Mentioned some of these guys. Andy Matat, he went out early with a really bad injury, broke his ankle in 2 places, and 9 pins later and a rod, and hopefully he's ready for hockey season and he's ready to go because he wasn't missed this year. But I'm looking forward to working with these juniors next year, and hopefully have a good season basketball, whatever you want to do. So hopefully I'll be back and we can work together next year. Our season, we won the CVAC. We were 11-0-2, undefeated. Overall record was 17-1-2. We scored 65 goals and 9 were against. We had 11 shutouts. We won the Pizza tournament. We're Division I champions and nearly missed out on the sectional championship. So I'm really proud of these guys. They did an excellent job. They did everything I asked them to do. It was hard to go undefeated. Everybody's out to get you. And they stepped it up game after game. And so I'm really proud of the way we played, and we had a really great year. That last game of the season, you win some, you lose some. Even though it was our first loss of the season, that was a tough one. But that Plattsburgh team was a pretty good team, and they're about equal as we were. And what's nice to know is that as they were moving down the line, in the article, a couple of articles, he mentioned our team. And so that means a lot. And hopefully you take that with you. It takes a little sting off that loss. So we represented our school pretty good, and keep our heads up high. Getting back to juniors a little bit, one junior stood out, I think, more than the other ones. Towards the beginning of the season, he was always in the back, and he felt like playing, but I finally jotted it out of him, and when I gave him a starting role and put him in there and switched him around in different positions, he really took over, and he really improved his game. So my most improved player goes to Nate Lamerton. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the seniors because there is the last year. So, very talented group, out of 11 of them. I'm going to start off with my keeper, Tyler. Tyler was a 3-year varsity player. one of my captains. Always kept the team together, organized. You know, he knew what I wanted from him. You know, he kept them going, and he was probably one of my best keepers I've had in years. He was an excellent athlete. You know, he's got great hands, great skills. When the ball was up in the air, no worry, Tyler was going up. He's going to grab that ball. And Tyler was chosen to a Division I All-Star team. And Tyler, it'll be hard to replace, buddy. Good job. Okay. My defense, solid. Ethan, Chris, Casey, best in the league. They only allowed 9 goals in 20 games. Ethan was new to that role. Last year he didn't get a lot of playing time, but you know, he stepped right in this year, took right over, handled that position very well. He had excellent skills and speed, and can really fill that ball down the line. And Ethan, you're going to be missed next year also. Thank you. Chris Guerin played left back. He was like considered my silent killer. I mean, every time the ball come down, he just stopped them dead. A lot of teams that had the right wing is probably the strongest player on there, and Chris did an excellent job. Tough kid, all around great skills. And when Casey got hurt a few games, Chris went right in there and filled in for Casey. Did a really good job. Chris was chosen for honorable mention this year also by the coaches. He just did a super job in that the last game, sectional game, the kids said, you know, Chris wants to come off, Chris wants to come off, and I said, why? I mean, he never comes off, and he must have got a broken leg or something because he's never coming off. And I finally get him off there. He's out there playing for 10 minutes before I get him off. And, you know, he lost the contact. Can't see. He's been out there for 10 minutes against Plattsburgh, no or less. And he still was playing great defense out there with, you know, I don't know how we've seen him, but good thing Mr. Davison was there. He gave him a contact. And in back and he went, and he finished out the game. But so I've chosen Chris to receive one of my MVP awards. Chris? Casey, Division I All-Star, All-CBAC. Second year in a row he was an All-Star. He was one of my captains. He played my middle back. If I could have $5 every time Casey fell down, I'd be rich. Okay. But this goes to show you what kind of kid he is. I mean, he always gave 120%. I mean, all out. You do anything to stop a goal from going in. Overall, really skilled. You know, highly skilled player, move the ball up and down the field, and every once in a while he'd take off and dribble up the field, and then where is he going? Where is he going? And he wanted to get up there, but he could do it. That's the thing about it. I didn't like to see it, but he could do it. And but it was a pleasure coaching Casey over these years. He really missed. Great team leader on and off the field, and you know, for your play, you deserve one of these MVP awards. Come on. My middle players, Jeremy, Andrew, Corey D. Start off with Andrew here. Andrew's out there. Very skilled, really great player. Every once in a while you do a couple more skills out there than I'd like to see. I mean, but we have to sometimes break it down to let's go simple soccer here, Andrew. But he had the skills to do it. Every once in a while we do too many. but kind of trickery thing with his feet. But like I said, he was a great player, team leader, motivator. When we needed a goal, Andrew was the first guy to step up. Come on, guys, let's go. We need one. And great player, great person overall. And we'll definitely miss next year. Good job, Andrew. Corey Davison. Corey, last year, Corey was on the second group. He filled in a little bit on the first group last year, playing line. And, this year I decided to play, let's try something different, play in the middle. Him and Jeremy just played so well together. Up and down the field, did what I asked to do. Another team leader, motivator. No troubles out of him. Corey played a really good game for me in the middle, and really was outstanding. And Corey, you're going to be missed next year. Thanks, Corey. Jeremy Jeanette. It's like, with him and Corey, they work together, like I mentioned earlier, like bread and butter back there. Jeremy always marked the best players back there offensively for me. He did a really good job. Jeremy was chosen Division I All-Star team in all CVAC. His presence will be missed next year. He had great attitude on and off the field. He controlled that middle, like I said, marking, which is a real important thing to do. And up and down the field, I hardly took him off. And he ran the whole complete game for me, never asking for a break, up and down the field. And that's why, Jeremy, you're going to receive one of these MVP awards. Jeremy? Offensive line, Cody. Cody played left wing on the second group. It was tough for him to break into that first group because I had really counted the first group up there. But Cody had some great skills, foot skills. He had an excellent shot when I could get him to shoot the ball. Really hard. Really worked hard in this game. Tried to break into that first group, but like I said, it was so strong to get up there. And again, with a kid with a great attitude, never gave up. And Cody, you're going to be missed next year. Thanks, Cody. Stick with that left wing. My first group was Nate. Nate, nobody took advantage of Nate. Nate always stood up for himself. Maybe a little bit too much sometimes, but he stood up for himself. Really, one of the better players with foot skills I've seen in a long time, especially left wing. Left winger is hard to, sometimes you don't have a strong kick or something, but Nate could kick pretty hard with both feet. He was a great passer. I had a little talk to him maybe at the beginning of the game, or season, or towards the middle, and said, Nate, don't have too many goals, Nate. Just start stepping it up, and he did. I mean, towards down the stretch, he scored some really big goals for us, and it's going to be hard to replace Nate next year. Thanks, Nate. Corey Tremblay. He was chosen Division I All-Star team for his outstanding play this year. Corey had 15 goals and 7 assists. Corey scored some really big goals for us this year, such as that one down in Beekman Town. That was an overtime, I believe, and we won it 1-0. And also the PHS game down there. We needed a goal to tie it up, and we shot that goal and got cleaned by that goalie. And I know there was rumors out there circulating about when Corey went down, Tony went up to him and bent down, and some of the guys were talking about Tony kissing Corey, but I watched it on Channel 5, then I DVR'd it and repeated it a few times, and when Tony went down is when Corey turned his head, so actually there wasn't any kiss, so we went out. Tony was real excited that Corey scored, but man, the guys mentioned, so we had to clear that up a little bit, so I mentioned it now. So, but Corey would hustle up and down the field. He had great speed, and Corey and Tony worked together well. I can still vision him passes going down the wing, and Tony passing the balls right to him. He's one of them with the keeper. It was a great play by both of them guys. Corey, your goals and the way you play this year is going to be hard to replace, and I've chosen you to receive one of these MVP awards. Tony, last one at least. 16 goals and 12 assists this year. Three-time All-Star, two-time MVP this year by himself, much deserving last year too, but that's last year. This year you got it. Overall, the best player in the CVAC, you can tell. Skill-wise, everything. He's probably the best player I've ever coached, offensively, defensively. I asked him what, he just do it. He knows the game so well. When the game's on the line, that's the guy you want the ball to. He's going to be missed, and it's not like it's not like he's not marked. I mean, almost every game somebody was always on him, and sometimes he had two guys on him. Some other people watching the game might not realize that, but when you're marked, they're on you, you're kicking at your feet, and they're bugging you, and some people don't realize that. And so he put up a lot this year, and because he was a marked man, I mean, he's one of the guys that scores on the team. But he really worked through it, scored some big goals for us also, and he's an unselfish player. His goals and assists were about the same the last 3 years right in a row. We talked about the big goals, the one down here at Plattsburgh, don't forget. We worked on, a play, and I said, Tony, the goalie comes out far, he hangs around 18, and I said, don't do it right off, don't do it, you gotta wait a little bit, sucker him out a little bit more. 2 minutes of the game, here goes Tony, and he turns around and kicks that ball over the keeper's head, and he was almost like, not quite half field, but it was a shot I won't soon forget, and that goalie won't either, but that was one heck of a shot. And he really worked on passing this year, and Navarro would definitely be happy, be proud of you, that's for sure. Like I said, overall, he's probably the best player to put on his Cougar uniform. This summer, if things work out, we're going to be seeing him in Vermont, I hope. He's over there playing for the Voltage. Hopefully it works out for him, and who knows what doors will open. Tony's definitely going to be missed next year, and hopefully your career goes on, and we can look back a little bit. I'm proud to give Tony one of these MVP awards. Tony? Also, too, we got a special award. Something great happened at the school this year, and it has to do with Tony. Anthony. Keep on calling him Tony, but he likes Anthony. He set this, we had a record out for the most points scored, or most points in school history. And, we talked about that junior year, and, he set his sights on it, I think at that level. And, you know, he didn't look back. He wanted it. You know, he went out and got it. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the best players that come out of the soccer program. He ended up with 133 points, which broke the school record. The school record was 100 points, and he did that at the Beat Mattel game. And so with that, I'm very proud to have coached you throughout your career, like I said earlier. And I got this special award for you, and I'm pleased to present this award to you. Tony, come on up for breaking the school record. Called up his mom and said, "Get that ball to me. I need that game ball from Beat It Down. Get it up here." So, seniors, I wish you well in whatever you choose to do. Good luck in your careers and your paths wherever you go. And you're a great bunch of young men. And I was very proud to coach you guys. Good job, fellas.
Since they're too scared, I'm going to talk for them. First things first, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for coming to all of our games, and thanks to all the girls teams and boys JV and the cross country team. And congratulations on their season. Our school pretty much kicked butt and everything it does. I'd like to thank you to our coach for a great season. We couldn't have asked for a better season. Went undefeated, and unfortunately our last game had to be our worst game had to be our last game. And it's been a pleasure playing with all the seniors and juniors. This will be a season I'll never forget. And Anthony never would have scored those 103 points if I was goalie of the game.
I'd like to say thank you, Coach, for always being there and helping me along for the past 3 years. And just talk a little bit about the defense. The defense was definitely impactful on our team. And everyone knows that a great defense is how teams win ball games or soccer games or whatever. But it all started with Tyler back there, who pretty much grabbed soccer balls a foot over the net, even if they were going to go over. And he pretty much grabbed every single ball in the air. I never saw him drop one ball. I'll start with Ethan. Ethan, this summer, I always told him he wasn't going to make the team, and he was having his doubts himself. But we went to soccer camp, played some tennis soccer over the summer, and you could tell definitely on his volleys when the ball was in the air that he always jumped and kicked it. He was always solid back there, never letting anyone pass him. Even if someone did get past him, he would catch him, so thanks, Ethan. Chris Guerin, no one ever got past him. He was probably the best technical player. If anyone tried to, beat him, he was always there, always fast. And he was good on the right side of his left foot. Or on the left side of his left foot. Casey, when he wasn't injured, he was probably the fastest and most aggressive players in the league. He never let anyone pass him for the most part. And he always got head balls in there if Tyler didn't get them, so that cousin connection helped out there. And probably the two harder spots were Corey Davis and Jeremy. They had to play kind of a defensive, midfield, offensive role, where they would transition with the ball the whole time. They probably had the most running out of all of us and the most pressure. But yeah, those two pretty much stepped it up and always were with each other and always got the ball. It was awesome. And good job, Cody. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Would Aaron Duffy and John Strecker come down front, please?
For 0 goals, 0 assists. Hey, I didn't assist.
In each season, the John L. Hurwitz CDAC All-Academic Award is presented to 2 senior athletes in recognition of their contribution to and achievement in sport, as well as their success in academics. For the fall 2000 season, our female recipient is Erin Duffy from the girls varsity cross country team. And our male recipient is John Strecker from the boys cross country team. Congratulations to both of you, and sometime in the near future their picture will be in the paper. Now we have the boys varsity cross country team down front. They're already down front. Josh Bisek. John Strecker. Chad Piche. Manager Brent Tatro. Please welcome our boys varsity cross country team.
I'll try to have everybody out here by 9:30. Here we are again. It's always hard in the middle of August to imagine where we're going to get to this point in the fall sports season. You look at the calendar, I'm on the middle of the 15th fairway, and Josie comes up in a golf cart and says, "Get your right down to practice, the season started." You look at the schedule on the calendar, it looks like November's a million miles away, and suddenly here we are. This season is especially different for me. It's the first time since I've been doing this for 5 years now that I've seen kids all the way up through the program from modified to varsity in their senior year. They've been an amazing group of kids. They've made me look like a good coach, which I tell them is their primary job. The reason I love to do this job, and I thank them with all my heart, they've enriched my life more than they will ever know. Thank you parents for coming tonight and for staying. It's encouraging to see parents supporting their children's efforts, whether they're academic, musical, or athletic. You have a great bunch of kids. They're a reflection on the school. They're an excellent reflection on the school. They're an excellent reflection on their parents. You should be proud of their accomplishments. I have a couple thank yous too, because you have to. I was told that was a requirement. I thank parents, which I already did. Thank Josie again. I thank her at the modified thing, and she still did a great job since 6 o'clock. She's still done an amazing job as athletic director. I can't say enough about her organization, getting things done. It is a full-time job, and she more than carries it off. Thank you for my family, again, for putting up. I think Dale, well, I can't top Dale with having to go on his wife's birthday in practice, but fortunately my wife's birthday's in the wintertime, so I won't have that problem. But my family does give up a lot. This is the first year I've had to deal with different schedules because my kid played his sport, and he was at his games and I was at mine, and so thanks to them for their patience. I'd like to thank Calvin for coming out to some of our meets this year. Cross country is probably not the most spectator TV friendly kind of sport to watch. It's hard to appreciate what they're doing out there unless you've actually done it. Anybody who's tried to run the track says, oh, I can do this, and then you go out and one lap of the track and you're huffing and puffing and you collapse, and then you realize they've done that like 12 or 13 times. But I appreciate him coming out, so thank you to Calvin. Congratulations to the other the soccer teams for their championship seasons. Once again, coaches and the kids on those teams do a fantastic job. All right, boys team. This is a good news, bad news season. Good news also is loaded with seniors. Helps with leadership and team maturity. Bad news is I was loaded with seniors. All right. 5 of the 6 guys are, and if you include Brent, 6 out of 7 are seniors that will be graduating. So there's a bit of building to do in the next couple of years. However, in spite of that, Team Ranks is probably the best team I've ever had. Frank talked about taking their lumps. These guys took some lumps. But they never, ever gave up. All right? It's not my best team because of wins and losses. It's my best team because of attitude and effort, which I've never had a complete team like this. They worked hard from day one. They pushed through any adversity that was thrown their way, and they never, ever gave up. They never questioned what they were doing. They gave me 110% every single day. I couldn't ask for anything more than what this group of boys did this season long. I truly enjoyed coaching this group. I don't know that I will have a group as good as this again. They will be deeply missed. I would like to thank Brent, my manager, who stood out there, rain, snow, sleet, hail. That must be a kid thing. I'm old and I get cold really easy. But he did a tremendous job, and it certainly made my life a lot easier. All right, my MVP for P's. It's very gratifying when you see a person set goals for themselves, and it's even more gratifying to see the reaction when that goal is reached. My first MVP set CBAC All-Star in the state meet as his goals. When he found out he made the All-Star team, his reaction was different. I'll just say that. He worked hard all season long, pushed himself, and always kept his goals in mind. He's been a pleasure to coach over the years, and I know he'll be doing great things after high school. My first MVP, John Cougar. Okay, my second MVP was definitely our team leader. He kept people going, led by example, never let anything get him down. He fought through injuries, all problems like that every runner will have. His best race by far was a sectional meet down at E-Town. His goal was getting to the state meet. With half a mile left, he was in position to qualify. He had one kid behind him. I told him he needs to keep ahead of the runner right behind him. Kind of looked at me, rolled his eyes a bit, and said, I got it. Great team leader, did a fantastic job this year. The second MVP, Josh Meeson. Thank you, boys.
Unlike most people, I didn't really prepare a speech, but I do know the people I want to thank and the people that are close to my heart. First of all, I want to thank our fans. We had quite the season, and for the fans to go out there and watch, I think the most boring sport to watch, even though I love running it, it actually means a lot to us, and I thank you all for that. And I also want to thank our girls varsity team and modified team. You have no idea how much it means to us to have you girls cheer us on and be supportive and put up with us on the bus. I also want to extend a thanks to Farba, aka, yeah, he's just Farba. Him and his camo shorts always kept us happy, and he did an amazing job keeping times better than the girls manager. So, we love her too, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I was just kidding. And I think I speak for both me and Group Up. We say, I couldn't ask for a better group of friends, and it was amazing working with all of you and running with all of you through pain and whatever else we did. From Alfie challenged me in buttercup contests, to Stringer singing on the bus, Max being Tyson powered, and pajama pants, me picking up Kubal's height, and Kubal always ready to go, screaming in our huddle when nobody else was cheering. And I also want to thank our coach. It did mean a lot to us. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to the mortal Kubal.
Okay, Cokes, where do I begin? You made us run up those hills over 100 times, and repeats even more than that. We ran in freezing rain, scorching heat, and even a hurricane. But because of all of that, you made the team and me a group of great runners. And we definitely had a lot of fun doing it. So, in honor of Cokes, we'd like to start a little tradition. It's called the David Cokes Award. Unfortunately, it didn't come in yet, but this award is presented to any coach that a team finds to go above and beyond the whole coach's duty. It states that, presented to David Cokes, this award is presented to you for not only being an amazing coach, but also being an amazing friend, Cross Country Boys 0708. So, thank you, everybody.
If anybody's looking for a Super Bowl party, there is one at Mr. Cokes' house, and he does have a big screen TV.
The girls varsity cross country team coming up. Aaron Duffy. Megan Rainville. Brittany Trahan. Cora Carson. Emily Duffy. Becca Grimm. Alyssa Hicks. Sylvia Horn. Carrie McGee. Jessica Fabro. Brandy Rivers. Megan Bowmill. Megan Boyer. Alana Cruz. Camille Pichet. Carly Roush. Alexis Zegers. Kelly Rogers. "15 members of the girls varsity cross country team also qualified for the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Team Award. Would you please take a step forward when I call your name? Aaron Duffy, Megan Rainville, Brittany Trahan, Emily Duffy, Becca Grimm, Alyssa Hicks, Sylvia Horn, Carrie McGee, Megan Boyer, Jessica Favreau, Megan Bowmill, Alana Cruz, Carly Roush, Alexis Zegris, and Kelly Rogers. Congratulations." Please welcome the girls varsity cross country team and coach Dave Cole.
Me again. All right, I want to do thank yous again. I think everybody knows who I thank the first one. Another excellent season for the girls team. This team has just been a pleasure year after year. They found out this year it's tough being one of the top teams. So last year, winning league championship and the Class B championship, found out everybody starts gunning for you from day one. They took that challenge quite well, kept working hard all season long, making some great improvements. After losing 2 team leaders to graduation, It was great to see some of the younger girls step in and take their place at the top. They kept a positive attitude, a super work ethic all season long. Once again, made coaching for me a lot of fun. I can't say enough about these girls. Every single one of them shows up ready to go every day. Most every day anyway. A couple of them take Fridays off. No, they've just been a huge pleasure, and I just always enjoy this team. That's it for my girls' general speech. My most improved girl. This one promised, since she's been running modified, promised me year after year that each season was her last one. Last year when she was on modified, she assured me she wasn't going to be running varsity, it was too long. I think you heard that from the modified people earlier. And then she comes out in August and assures me, well, she's not going to be very good. Halfway through the season, she forgot she wasn't going to be very good, and she decided to break into her top 7. She never stopped looking back from that top 7 and kept herself there. Very quiet, she's a very good worker. I really enjoyed watching her improve. Most improved this year is Megan Bowmill. Alright, these things usually are hard for me, but this is going to be a little bit hard. MVP this year, no particular order, just the order I wrote them down. This girl, first one, has been unbelievable to watch through the years. She's been with me since I took over coaching. She's made great progress every year. She's been one of the key people this team has been built on for the past 3 seasons. Tremendous joy to coach, has a great attitude, does whatever's asked of her. You tell her to go run and catch somebody, she runs to catch somebody. You tell her to speed up, she speeds up. You tell her to slow down, she speeds up. Just unbelievable. It's been a great pleasure to have her for the past 5 years. 4-time CBAC All-Star, 3-time state meet qualifier, 2006 Section 7 Class B individual champion, my team leader, and I will miss her tremendously, Brittany Trainer. Alright, my next MVP, I love telling this story, she's probably sick of hearing it by now. 4 years ago, Ms. Yori gets me off the golf course, comes out the golf carts, gets practice. First day out, this very nice girl, very quiet. She's out, we're doing our first run, and I watch her run, and she's not exactly championship material. But like I said, nice girl, so you can live with that. So we get through the first couple of workouts, first part of the season. Not exactly championship material. Still a really nice girl. Just, goes out and runs. And we get to I think it was our last year for our invitational, and she's out at the JV meet, which is everybody but the top 7, and all of a sudden we start out, and there she is in second place, and she almost wins a stupid thing. Like, where'd that come from? She cut 6 minutes off of her time, which if you try to run 2 minutes a mile faster than you ran the week before, be quite an accomplishment. She's never looked back since that breakthrough day. She's gotten better every year. She's been the second building block of this team for the last 3 years. Leaves wonderful little drawings on my board up in my classroom. Another one that will be extremely hard to replace. 2-time CBAC All-Star, 2-time state meet qualifier. I don't think I've ever called her by just her first name, and I won't today, Megan Rainville. And I saved this one for last, not because of any order or anything like that. She's another one that's been with me since I started. Doing this 5 years, she was out as a modified runner my first year. She's been with me ever since. She was a great modified runner. She's been a great varsity runner. I'm amazed at the number of activities she's involved in, and she does all of them well. She's taught me about fishing. She'll get that. Those are inside jokes. She's run incredibly well the last 5 years. She's always happy, and she's totally bought into my saying that every day is a great day for a hard run. I saved her for last because I'm doing something for her that I've never done for anybody else, and I probably never will. And I didn't want the other girls to get jealous and expect something else. For 5 years, Miss Duffy, I have heard the question, Mr. Cox, do you have a tissue? For 5 years, I've tried to teach her how to put her finger inside her nose and swallow. She runs. For 5 years, she refuses. For 5 years, I've told her, there's a religious statement, excuse me if I do that, but that's why God gave us sleeves. But she won't buy into that either. So, she has not listened to one thing she hasn't learned. CBAC All-Star, two-time state meet qualifier, and just a wonderful runner and a great kid, Erin Duffy. Thank you very much.
We'd like to start off by thanking all the parents who have supported us throughout the years. It means so much that you come to our meets, and let's face it, cross country is not an interesting sport to watch, and not a lot of people come. So thank you for that. We'd also like to thank Mrs. Gilroy for being an amazing athletic director. We'd like to thank Calvin for coming to our meets and taping them for us. We'd like to thank the coach, obviously, for being the amazing coach he is. And we'd like to thank the running club for finally buying us new uniforms. I have no idea how old the last ones were, and we shared them with track, so that was a nice little gift, I guess, for our senior year. So we sat around for some time today after school trying to come up with the perfect way to say what we wanted to say to our coach and our team. Unfortunately, there are no words to describe the gratitude we have for everything you have taught us throughout the years. You've taught us team spirit, perseverance, respect, dedication, and how to win or lose with grace. And for this, we thank you. We will never forget our favorite coach and the family that is our team. We have been through everything together, from 5-hour bus rides to excessive amounts of dessert, from the hills of death to puddles we could swim in. And let's not forget our amazing push-ups and sit-ups, ladies. But despite the torturous repeats, the circuits, and the long runs, we will look back on these days with fondness and joy. Most of all, we take with us the ever-famous words of Mr. Coates, every day is a perfect day to run.